Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great day today, because today is just one of those days where we can go ahead and take a look at a bad YouTube video and respond to it, which is not something we get to do every day anymore, so the opportunity is always nice. Now, today's video is on a Nintendo fanboy that you are probably all very familiar with if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, and he goes by the name of Harmon Smith.
I am not playing my gaming PC because it simply isn't as good as my Nintendo consoles. Please understand that, I have a high-end PC. I can play everything. I was running the most technical, demanding games on Steam with no problems. I was messing around with it. I spent several days experiencing it, picking up games for my wish list. Things like that. It's not as good as console gaming.
Now, what stupid thing does Harmon have to say today? Well, he's upset that people dare not like game keycards on the Nintendo Switch 2. So, let's go ahead and hear what he has to say.
If there's any false controversy when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2, it has to be the game keycard thing, because over the past 5 years, the past 3 years, I've switched entirely to digital only, right?
Well, I mean, if you want to switch to digital only, that's up to you. But that doesn't mean everyone else should have to as well. If someone wants a game to be physical, they should have the option to buy a physical copy. There's nothing wrong with having more options for people, especially if those options existed in the past.
There's no reason not to own games digitally.
Well, what if someone just doesn't want to buy the game digitally, and they want a physical copy? What's wrong with that?
I prefer them. They're more convenient. There's plenty of space on the consoles, right?
With how bloated modern games are and the file sizes that we see, even on the PS4 generation, I don't think that's really true. What does the Switch 2 have? 256 gigabytes? And Cyberpunk is 64?
Digital gaming is my thing now, right? But apparently the online gaming community doesn't seem to agree with me. They seem adamant that we need to keep physical. We need to keep physical around. I like having games on a shelf. It's just a giant cope. These guys have not stuck with the times at all.
Dude, what a bugman argument. What's that? Something that was better in the past is going away? What are you, fucking old? Don't ask any questions, just consume the product.
It's amazing to see the double standard in this community, because on one hand you have these guys trying to tell you that oh man, Steam, it's my primary platform, I love Steam, and then they turn around and then they try and tell you that Nintendo games need to have physical copies of games.
You see, there's a difference. I actually do agree that Steam should have full ownership of your games. But on PC, you have access to piracy, which is true ownership. Once you pirate a game, you can do whatever you want with that game, and there's no way to take it from somebody. It is yours forever as long as you don't delete it. And this is for any video game, even Nintendo games. So if the Switch 2 doesn't give you full ownership of a game and it's a digital download code or digital keycard, whatever, only, then the PC will still offer full ownership. Cope, seethe, and dilate.
It's such a weird double standard in this community, because one of the big primary responses when it comes to the game keycard thing, it's not just buy the game digitally, it's I'm going to buy the game on Steam because I have more ownership of it.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it, you get full ownership if you pirate it, and not that I'm encouraging anything, I am obviously a law-abiding citizen that would never, ever, ever harm the billion-dollar corporations, because they need our money. The creators of Pokemon would literally be starving on the streets, just begging for some change to buy food if I pirated Pokemon Red.
Which, first of all, is wrong, because you don't own your games on Steam. You're just licensing, paying for a license to play them. But
yeah, I mean, he's not wrong here. Steam isn't full ownership, but there's other platforms on PC like GOG that are true ownership, and if you really cared that much about it, you can just use GOG.
But like the weird aspect of it is just like the community seems like intent on gaslighting people into thinking that like Nintendo Switch 2 has this like huge problem when it comes to like third-party ports and how they're handled on the console.
I mean, considering most modern games don't even run that well on the Series X and PS5, I think a lot of the third-party ports on the Switch 2 are gonna run like shit. Also, people simply aren't supporting the game keycards. The sales prove this. Now, I've already made a video on this, so you can go ahead and watch that video. I will link it in the description, because I'm not gonna repeat myself.
Like, this is what the third parties wanted. You know, they did not want their games on physical media, and they've been fighting this for decades. Like they've been wanting to make this happen for a long time.
Well, in that case, they can enjoy not getting my money. Sucks to suck, I guess. If I go to the local fucking Wally World and buy a physical case for a video game, put a physical game in there. What's the point of a download code? If you're gonna download the game, just download it from home. Save yourself the fucking gas money.
Like, you know, with Xbox games, with physical Xbox games, you have to like download them from the internet, right? You have to have your Xbox connected to the internet to download the game so you can play this.
Another Bugman argument. Because this corporation is anti-consumer, Nintendo can do it too. Stop complaining, bro. Just eat the slop. Just consume the slop.
Because, like, you know, the narrative is that, like, well, game key cards are worthless. So, like, you know, just buy digital, you know, like...
I mean, why would I get ready and go all the way down the road, spend money on gas to go down the road to Walmart, go in, buy the game, to take it home and just download it? Why wouldn't I just download it straight away from the eShop?
Like, you know, I've taken up too much space with physical media in general, so...
So sell the physical media that you don't plan on using anymore and you can get some money back. In some cases, you can actually get more than what you paid for it.
A lot of people are really adamant that, like, this is a terrible thing and that this is somehow gonna ruin gaming, even though they don't really quantify as to why. You know, what the issue actually is.
Maybe, just maybe, hear me out here, they just don't want to buy a game key card and would prefer a physical game that you put in and play immediately. Because with game key cards, you have to download the game, and not everyone has great internet.
And the reality is, like, there is no fundamental issue with game key cards, right? There is no problem with the service and how it functions.
You say there's no problem with the service, but the thing is, we don't know if down the road they might shut off the servers for the Switch 2, and now you can no longer access your digital game that is a game key card.
It's just a method of condemning Nintendo's consoles and its games and how they function and all of that. And
I mean, yeah, people are condemning the game key cards because we had actual physical games in the past where once you put them in your Switch, you could immediately play them. You didn't have to wait for any downloads. Also, you would never have to worry about the servers going offline. So yeah, I see nothing wrong with people condemning this.
People make up controversies to be upset about.
Or, hear me out here, people just don't like the idea of game key cards and they're expressing their opinions publicly, which they're allowed to do.
You know, like last gen it was the Joy-Con drift and now it's the game key cards. Like, nobody really cares about this.
Yeah, that is straight up bullshit. People definitely cared about Joy-Con drift because tons of people complained about it, and still do complain about it.
I am definitely very, very sick and tired of hearing about it.
Well, if you don't like the discussions around game key cards, maybe you could just not listen to them and not engage with them. I don't know, just a suggestion.
Going forward, I elect to not listen to people complaining about game key cards, not engaging in discussion about game key cards.
I give it a maximum of 2 weeks before he's talking about game key cards again.
These things have absolutely no impact onto the console at all.
If that were true, people wouldn't be complaining about the game key cards. Clearly, it does have an effect on the console because it isn't a physical game that you can immediately put into your console and play without a download.
For now, the big narrative cope is that game key cards are causing third-party games to fail on the platform, and that simply isn't true whatsoever.
I mean, I literally made a video going through an article that said that game key card / third-party games were not selling on the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, is this solely due to the game key cards? We don't know. However, what we do know is that most of these games are selling like utter ass. Anyway, that is gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't like it, you can leave a dislike and a mean comment. And yeah, I'm out.